everyone, it's Andy from Hobby Headquarters. Well, I have a little video here for you with a bunch of news and updates on plastic models and the channel that I thought I would share with you today. So, let's get into it. The very first thing I want to talk to you about is I've got some good news. I've just heard from TACOM that the very first test shots of my new 16 scale M4A3 E8 Sherman will be available very, very soon. Hopefully I should have them within the next about 2 weeks. Should have their very first test shot, and then of course I will bring those and let you see all that right along with me. I'm super excited about that. And as soon as we have the test shots and I build it up and show it to you, they will go up for pre-order. I have gotten hundreds of emails about when it's going up for pre-order, but I didn't want to do it until we actually had the very first test shots, so that'll be coming very, very soon. And keep in mind too, they will be available worldwide, not just from our site andyshhq.com or andyshhq.eu. We are working out with distributors in Australia and Japan, all over Europe, pretty much everywhere in the world. You'll be able to go ahead and get that kit. Also, if you watch the Creality Hallet 1 video that I did on 3D resin printing, Creality actually reached out to me and sent us a engraver, a laser engraver that I'm super excited to play around with. We'll have a video on this very, very soon too. This is something I think we're going to be able to do a lot of really cool diorama things with. I should be able to cut like door frames and windows and all kinds of other little accessories, maybe even like ammo boxes out of this. And I'm hoping that's based what I've seen on some of the videos on this. So I'm anxious to tear into this and play around with it and see what kind of cool things we can make out of that. But that'll be another video in the very near future. Also, I've just got notification that many of you may know or may not know that ICM and Mini Art, which are both located in Ukraine, are in full production right now. In fact, we have a big container of both of their products coming in. It'll be shipped out probably in about 2 weeks, and then should be arriving here in the United States in August. So all of the ICM kits and Mini Art, especially all the diorama accessories that you've seen me mention so many times, all those will be back in stock very, very soon. Now, some other news. Obviously, there's been a lot of manufacturers that have started to creep up on their prices because of, shipping costs and all the other costs in the world. Well, Tamiya is the next one to fall into that. Tamiya just announced that in the middle of July, sometime, I'm not sure quite of the date, but very, very soon, they are going to be going up across the board on their products, whether it be the paint, the tools, the kits. All of that is going to see a price increase very, very soon. So if you're thinking of getting anything Tamiya, it might be a good time right now before the prices all go up. But that should happen within the next week or two. I've also been. Also, some more exciting news. I finally have a final production model of the 4x4 utility truck from World War II. So I'm in the process right now of doing a build video where I show this entire thing go together. This is the production model. So TACOM went back and changed up some of the molds from the test shot that I first had. Now, I didn't do a video on the test shot. I just actually showed it built up because I knew there would be some things I wanted to change. So look for a video, complete build, paint, everything on this just in a couple of days, actually. And I'm also going to show you the diorama that I'm working on, the factory diorama. I've come up with some ideas, and I'm going to show you those right now. First of all, I want to give you an update how the actual factory diorama is coming along. And I have come up with an idea how I think it's going to all lay out. So as you see here in the new area, we've got this first building here that's still all in white with no roof on it. If you notice back, it's the exact same front as the building off to the left with Krupp on it. And I thought that is going to be a perfect one to fit into this, because why wouldn't the buildings look the same? Now, I did have to change the way the railroad track lays, and none of that is glued down or anything right now. It's just all kind of temporarily placed there, and you can see the railroad track is coming in from a different angle. I took some balsa wood, actually some strips of balsa wood, and built the end bumper. I don't think I'm going to put the ramp to load up the Panzer Is onto it. The ramp was really large and was going to take up a huge portion of the diorama, and honestly it took up so much of the diorama and it wasn't very interesting to look at, I thought. So I thought, I'm going to get rid of that, and this is just going to be the rail depot. Now, the building off to the very far right is the railroad warehouse. It doesn't have a roof on it, of course, and it is going to be put in at an angle on here. So, on this side of the factory diorama, we have our freight station over here, our freight warehouse. Now, normally the building is designed to have another section of it over here, but I decided to take this and keep everything in the same angle all the way across all the different buildings. And because of that, the building is going to get cut off. The roof that normally comes in this kit is a ceramic roof, and I just thought that is going to be a pain in the butt to try to cut that properly. So RT Diorama also sells some roofing material, in this case a corrugated roof that I think is going to look really good on this warehouse. And I can easily cut right across to the right angle to meet up over here. We'll have our roof. It'll be super simple to do, and also I can, tarnish up and corrode, do all that kind of stuff on it. So that is how the roof is going to be on this freight shed. We do have the regular roofs for this piece, as you would imagine, and also there are full sets of doors in here that will go for each one of these, as well as the front door on there as well. So as you can see, it's starting to come along. The railroad track here in the middle will be all filled in this area in here with ballast, as you would expect to see around railroad ties. There is a possibility I might extend this concrete work all the way closer, or much closer I should say. Not positive about that. At one point I started cutting some foam, because using this blue foam or the purple foam works really good for filling in some of these areas. It might be kind of cool to do something like that. Not really sure about that yet. So some of the other buildings that I was talking to you guys about, I opened up and set up and put on here, and honestly they just looked too big and out of scale for what I'm trying to accomplish here. So I saw this one and I thought, well, it already matches the rest of the complex, so this one would be perfect. It is a deeper, longer building, so you get more windows on the side. And then of course I needed something for the railroad aspect of it. So I'm really liking the way this comes along. And real fast too, let me tell you what I've had to do up here. So these two panels here that have the cobblestone in it are actually these same two that you would normally see on this part of the diorama. I came and laid those down, kept the angle the same all the way through, and then just took a razor saw and cut them across here. And we'll finish them off later on, but this way we keep the road in a very uniform position. And finally, this section over here, I've just kind of carved into the actual concrete work. I will round this over and take a razor saw and put that little edge of the concrete sidewalk. Debating, I have much more of this wall. Obviously, the wall is going to continue on, but I also might make it that the wall comes to about here, and then we just leave this part open here so you can see more towards that part of the diorama. So that is a quick update on the diorama. Oh, one other quick thing. There is a panel that you see in the middle there that looks like it's sunken in, and it is because it is sunken in. It's actually just one of the extra pieces from the front of this. I cut it off, and I haven't had a chance to cut any more concrete work to drop in there, so I temporarily just placed it in there. It's lower, obviously, because it's street, but that will all get taken care of and patched up, and it'll be a nice throughway for cars or trucks or tractors, whatever that's going through there, to get over to the railroad portion of the rail shed. And I'll lastly just give you a quick little forward-looking view, not so much overhead. This is how, when you walk into my store, it'll look like, more so than standing over it there, because it's kind of high up on a counter there. But I think once I get all of that done, I think it's going to look really good. And of course, I will have more build videos of showing how this all goes together in the very near future. In our new kit news, this is something I'm very excited about, and I should have a test shot very, very soon for. This is Takom's newest 16 scale model. This is the Panzer 1B with, on top of it, with some modifications, a Stug 3G main gun. So this is the 75mm main gun on a Stug 3 that they put on top of the Panzer 1B. Now there is a picture of this in, I believe it's Berlin, 1945, very end of the war. So it was a last-ditch effort, of course, and Takom is making. I think it's actually a very cool looking little model. And not only that too, Jason has sculpted, 3D sculpted, I should say, a figure for this. late war figure, and he's holding one of the 75mm Stug shells in 16 scale. Look very, very similar to the ones that I just printed up in 3D. So if you get this and you go on to the Panzer Concept website, you can download the STL files to print yourself a whole bunch of those 75mm shells. Something to think about. Also, just announced from TACOM, is something I think very, very interesting, is this giant floating dock in 700 scale. And man, look at the photo etch on this kit. This is this is a lot, because 700 scale, even for this big floating dock, is still pretty small. I don't know if my big sausage fingers could handle all that photo etch, but I know there's going to be some of you out there that'll do a phenomenal job on that. But as items go, I think this is a really cool, necessary model kit that I think a lot of guys are going to be very interested in, especially if you're into 700 scale ships. And this just got announced as well from TACOM, and actually should be out fairly soon, probably alongside the Panzerjäger 1B that they just announced and I just showed. This is the 1/16 scale Kleiner Panzerbefehlswagen. And as you can see here, it is a Panzer 1B with a much larger superstructure. And then the roll cage looking thing is a radio array. This is basically a command Panzer 1. It was a very early war, and as you can see, it comes with a figure, which is always cool when they do that in 16 scale. And the figure has two different heads. So you have either the beret looking cap or the peak cap. So you have two different options inside of that. And like I said, this kit is announced, but there's box art. And actually, I should be having a test sample of both of the 16 scales fairly soon, and I would love to build those up. I have built almost all the other 16 scale German kits that they've come out with, and I'm excited to get a hold of those too. I think it'll make a great opportunity to do some very early war dioramas with that. Now, speaking of 16 scale kits from TACOM, next up I want to show you this right here. I've been working on my next build video that I'll have out very, very soon for you guys. This is the 16 scale 1/4 ton 4x4 MB utility truck, and it is coming along absolutely wonderfully. Now, they've added some upgrades, since you may have saw that I posted that I had the very first prototype test shots, that I built that up and didn't show it on video how it went together, but wanted to show you how it was finally done. And that was because I knew that it was very early on. It actually was a great kit, and I had no fit problems or anything like that, but they did do a few other little upgrades to it. For example, the hinge on the hood actually works now, and you can leave it up in the air like that and show off that beautiful engine if you desire. And you can see how it's starting to come along. I still got, obviously, a decent amount more stuff to put onto this, but I thought I would just stop for a moment and let you see it. Also plan on painting the wheels up separately because of the way the actual kit goes together. These wheels just kind of snap inside the tire. So if I paint this black, or a tire black, and then the olive drab for this, put them together, and then all we have to do is sand here and then paint that. I think it'll be a lot easier and get a much cleaner line when we paint that. So that's why all the tires and wheels are kind of sitting off to the edge there. But it is a great kit. The video should be out very, very soon. These are available for pre-order right now on our website, andyshhq.com, and in Europe, andyshhq.eu. You can still get them at the introductory price of only $49.99, which is a screaming deal on the quality of this kit right here. Now, these next two items I am very excited to share with you. These are two professional update sets that we have cooperated with Aber, and that will be available very, very soon. And these are both 16th scale and are going to go perfect. That if you want to do some super detailing on your new TACOM 1/4 ton utility truck, or in the very near future, if you want to put some super detailing on the top of the Andy's Hobby Headquarters 16 scale M4A3 EH Sherman, you have two kits right here that I think are going to come in very handy. The very first one is the M2 50 caliber heavy barrel machine gun. So in this kit here, you're going to get a turned brass barrel, as you can see right here. Let me see if I can get my hand in front of it. So it's all hollowed out, beautifully done. You can see all the parts the way they're laid out here. So we have the grips, the charging handle, all the photo etch stuff to make the grips, and of course the sleeve, which, look at that right there. That is beautiful. And that will just slide right on in here, and you will have a absolutely beautiful barrel. And it'll be easy that you'll just be able to hollow out the TACOM one or the Andy's Hobby Headquarters one, slide that right into place, and then with a little finagling here and there, you'll be able to get the rest of the parts on. Then also, this is really incredible. This is a 50 cal ammo box, and you get a whole bunch of turn brass, hopefully you can see them really well in there, turn brass 50 cal rounds. And not only do you get the rounds, the box, here's the rest of them inside here, you get all of the disintegrating links inside there as well. So you'll be able to build up inside this little kit here. This is the instructions that are going to come with it. It comes with a little jig inside there. You slide the rounds in, and then you'll be able to go ahead and build the disintegrating links. And then you'll be able to hang it off the back of your, or off the side of your 50 cal if you desire. It also comes with the stowage can too. That is going to be incredible. Also does have decals inside too, which they're all, I don't want to open this up because I'm afraid about losing all those little 50 cal rounds right now, but you get the idea. We will have the real packaging and everything very, very soon, but I got these 2 samples sent out early to me, and I was just super excited to share them with you because, man, I just keep looking at this thing over and over again. The one in the kit is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but this looks like this thing could actually fire. There we go. So both of these kits will be available very, very soon. They are not up on our website yet. We're waiting to get an ETA when they're both going to arrive, and as soon as they do, we will have them on the website. One more thing I want to share with you guys are a couple of 3D printed kits. Now, obviously, we've been talking a lot about 3D printing lately, and Panzer Concepts was kind enough to offer all of my viewers some free STL files for some 16 scale German and American ammunition, which you can go on their website and download those if you have a 3D printer. But he also makes up some 3D printed kits, and I have 2 of them right here. First one is the Archway gantry crane. And this is actually a real crane. I don't know how many of them they had, but I was thinking about this thing. I thought this actually might be able to come in handy for the diorama because it is a factory crane that they could move around. It has little railroad tracks, but it's great for removing heavy items. You know, like this could actually pull a Tiger's turret off of it. And so I'm going to open up that and share that with you. And also they have a new 6-inch gun, a 1905 in a 1917 carriage. And this is, I opened it up just a minute ago just to see inside, and this thing is huge. This is a World War I 6-inch gun, and it is massive looking inside there and beautifully done in 3D printing. And what I thought I'd do is I'm just going to open these up and show you how a professional 3D printing company does this and how they put it all together and make it easy for you to do. So let's first take a look at the gantry crane. And first up, we have the crane that I was just telling you about. Now, keep in mind when you look at all these pieces here, these do all have of their supports, their printing supports still in place. So we have to snap those off, but I'm not going to do that until I'm actually ready to build this. But you can see these pieces up front here are the little railroad pieces that you can drive this back and forth on. And then we have over here all of the accessories, or the details, I should probably call them more than accessories. So we have like the wheels for the railroad pieces, the little truck part, and then of course pulleys for the actual crane. And then here is the crane itself, and it will, actually I got those backwards. It'll go like this, and that'll give you an idea of how the thing will go together. Now, it's printed on an angle. That's why it's not meeting up right here. But give you an idea how big this is. And when it's actually put together, no, you know what? I think I had it right the first time. It does going to flare out like, yeah, that makes more sense. It's going to flare out like that. In fact, if you go on his website, Panzer Concepts, he's got some real World War II pictures of this with a Tiger underneath it, and they're pulling a Tiger turret off with all the pulleys and stuff. It's very cool looking, and I'm excited to get a hold of one. Even though it might not have been in a factory setting, if I can get it to fit in my factory, it's going to go inside there. And now I want to show you the American 6-inch gun and all the pieces that come inside here. And just to give you an idea of the size of this, so here is, you know, the main part of the gun where the breech would be, and then you have the first section of barrel, the next section, and the way these are designed, they will snap inside. So I don't want to put it in yet. I've got to do some cleanup and stuff on it, just some light. And then finally there'll be a third section. So we're talking a very long gun in 35th scale. Very, very nice looking. Then you've got the split trails over here still on their mounts. All of the little cool detail accessories. All those little pins, all that kind of stuff. And then here are the wheels. And then they also have transport wheels as well. So I believe the limber's in here too. And then you just see some of the other pieces. So yeah, there's some incredible detail. Oh, here's the actual breech of the gun. Look at that. That is gorgeous looking. And remember, you can just snap these little pieces off here. They come off pretty easily once you're ready to actually assemble it. So if you're interested in either one of these kits, you should go over to panzerconcepts.com. If nothing else, go take a look at the free STL files for the 16 scale. But I think if you're interested in World War I guns like this or that gantry train, I would definitely recommend those. Those look like really nice kits. And I will be building both of these up in the very near future, starting with the gantry crane. So there you go, guys. There is a quick look at the news and events that are happening in July for Andy's Hobby Headquarters. I will let you guys know immediately as soon as I get the very first test shots for the 16 scale Sherman, and I'm going to immediately start knocking that out. I want to build that thing right away. But I do have a couple of build videos, as you just saw, I'm working on, so you'll see videos on those. Plus I'll also start tearing into this laser engraver. There's a lot of things I want to experiment with this, so all kinds of really cool things happening for the summer here. So I want to take this opportunity to thank you as always for watching, and please stay tuned because I have many more videos coming.